Morning everyone, and welcome to our 2025 product launch. Today we're going to start off with Tony, our CEO, who's going to chat to you a little bit about the last year within Turnberry and some of the developments that have happened within the industry. Brian's then going to chat to you a little bit about the claims development over the last year within Turnberry. This year we're also going to shake things up a bit, and we're going to have my broker consultant team and Robin introduce the products. Without further ado, we're going to hand over to Tony, who will then run through his part of the presentation for 2025. Thank you and enjoy.
It's always a treat when James allows me out of my office. It's great to discuss our progress with you and to look at some developing trends that we have seen. We've had an interesting 12 months politically with the recent general election and the government of national unity. We're now waiting to see how this alliance develops going forward. Last year, we spent some time unpacking various NHI possibilities with Andre, and as predicted, the uncertain landscape has continued. There have been a lot of articles covering the introduction of national health insurance. The recent High Court case in Pretoria in August, where sections of the NHI stipulating that healthcare practitioners would need approval from the Department of Health before being able to establish a practice in their area of choice, was ruled to be unconstitutional. This is an indication of the level of difficulty that there will be in the implementation phase. The recent comment from the Minister of Health, where he indicated that discussions were open around NHI, indicates a welcome movement from the initial stance from the Department of Health. As we discussed last year, this will be a complex, lengthy process requiring participation from many players in the public and private sectors. I thought a brief recap of some key points and some of the thinking behind our decision-making might be of interest and provide some background to our approach to business. In 2016, hard to believe it's 8 years already, we went into a partnership with Lombard Insurance as they mirrored our vision of providing solutions that were beneficial to all parties, policyholders, brokers, and insurers. Two important factors that we considered were their financial stability and their desire to be nimble to adapt to market changes. We found these strengths to be very useful as we have navigated through the regulatory changes with demarcation, COVID, and the changing accounting requirements with IFRS 17, together with Poppy and the ongoing threat of cyber attacks. We engage with Lombard on a regular basis to look for areas of opportunities with our partnership. We've done a lot of financial modeling together with Lombard to ensure that our reserves are prudent and in line with regulatory requirements. The Lombard model is based on developing partnerships with various niche specialist product providers. This slide shows Lombard's various South African and global partnerships, covering a wide range of risks. In our mission to provide useful solutions for our brokers and policyholders, we have accelerated our own digital transformation journey, and it's a journey we'll continue going forward. Whilst we have several projects on the go, a specific focus over the last 2 years has been on our claims and new business and servicing departments to shorten the processing time and deliver value. I'll expand on this later when we unpack some of our insights developed from our processing and digital experience. When we look at any business initiative, we ask ourselves, how will this add value and help our broker partners grow their business? It's hard to believe that it's already a year since the box became the world champions, yet again, may I add. We have also had the 2 Olympic Games recently, a busy sports period. I've always enjoyed using team sports examples, as these tend to focus on achievements, working smarter, and team spirit, which are all key success factors that we look for in our Turnberry team players. Not sure if I would call James part of our bomb squad, though. As a team on a weekly basis, we share all key indicators from the various areas with all of the Turnberry team members, so that we can all share in our successes and our challenges. It is often from these discussions that solutions are developed with the broader team's help. We continue to focus on all our key business areas, with the processing of claims and new business getting particular attention. Brian will provide some insights on our claims experience. Overall, we're seeing an increased utilization of our cover, and this shows the value and necessity of gap cover, particularly in the rapidly changing medical aid environment. Analyzing our data over the last few years, we've seen a significant shortening of the lead time from when clients undergo a procedure to when they submit their claims. This possibly indicates some of the financial pressure that is being felt, together with the increased reliance on gap cover to meet the financial commitment for the surgery. If we review our experience over the last few years, there has been an increased focus on claims and payment turnaround time in particular. Fortunately, we identified this as a key service delivery, and we have developed both our claims systems and personnel to provide the necessary service levels. The success of our claims team is indicated in our 2-day turnaround time for the payment of claims where we have the necessary documentation. This is a key number that we review daily. As seen from our client testimonials, we have very positive feedback on our claims. It's always great to see a product and service operating to a client's expectations. Another interesting development has been the number of servicing inquiries we receive daily. This is another interesting indicator showing the heightened awareness of our policyholders of their gap cover and wanting to understand the cover that they have. We typically see a doubling of policyholder inquiries over the medical aid and gap renewal period of November to January. This is a valuable interaction and can often lead to the upgrading of gap cover by the broker and policyholder. The number of inquiries over the renewal months is roughly 10% of the policyholder base per month. This volume shows the level of focus that policyholders have on their need for health cover, and we anticipate that this will continue to increase. In the last year, we have developed additional solutions to support this volume increase. We also have a 2-day average turnaround time in this area. As part of our strategy of educating consumers of the need for gap cover to supplement their medical aid, we produce several articles on an ongoing basis. The reach of our various information articles has been close to 16 million in the last financial year, indicating the interest from both the various publications and their reach, specifically in articles covering health and health insurance cover. These slides show the variety of publications that have included our articles and advertorials. Some of the takeaways when reviewing our data from our social media is that, as previously identified, females tend to show more interest in health articles. However, from our experience, this gap has reduced over the last 3 years. The 25 to 44-year-old age group shows the most interest. This correlates to the development of a family unit and the various risks that a family would experience. This interest was also reflected in our social media posts, where there was an interest in understanding gap cover and the impact it could have on financial planning. And there was a lot of interest shown in how gap cover could be obtained through a company's employee benefit schemes. We had an interesting case a few years ago where an employee suffered a heart attack and was discussing the financial strain he was under with the HR department. He was not aware of the gap coverage he had with his company's group cover. He was clearly very relieved, but it also shows the need for the continuous education of staff members and policyholders to ensure that they understand their cover. At Turnberry, we have seen an increase in interest in our employee groups for gap cover, and this has developed into an increase in our policy base. Please consider following, liking, and sharing our social media posts, as this will give you access to our various articles, which includes opinion pieces and valuable information on the gap market. Looking at the top 4 social media posts, they were seen 121,000 times and reached nearly 70,000 unique people and generated 2,200 engagements. In closing, as always, a very big thank you for allowing us to share an update on our business progress and our 2025 product range. Thank you for your valuable business and ongoing support. It is really appreciated. I'll now hand over to Brian to chat to you about claims and utilization. Thank you.
Greetings to everyone, and thank you for your time today. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for your trust and support of our business, through which we have continued to grow and provide invaluable cover to our policyholders. As a team, we are often here when your clients need us most. We are often the last step in what has been a tough time in their lives. So you can rest assured knowing that we will always show empathy, compassion, and deliver exceptional service. On the back of an incredibly busy and eventful year, I'll share some of the high-level insights we have gained in the operations area. Just shy of 92,000 claims were processed in the last financial year, while maintaining a lead time of less than 2 days for complete claims. We also crossed over the 750 million rand in claims paid since Turnberry began operating. The bottom graph shows the contribution Turnberry has paid towards claims versus what was contributed by the medical aid. This illustrates the shift in burden of medical expenses onto the member, which really shows how essential it is to have gap cover. From 2018 to 2024, this relationship is inverted and continues to grow. In the past year, this has risen to a 56-44% split. The makeup of this is illustrated on your screen. The dominant contribution still arises from medical aid shortfalls, but certainly over the years, we have seen the growing trend of increased co-payments, sublimits, and non-DSP penalties. The top illustration is of our IBNR reserve. Essentially, this is a provision for claims which have happened, which we haven't been notified about, but will be submitted within the prescribed period. We do not use a straight line percentage, but rather actuarially backed principles in line with IFRS 17. The trajectory of the line is influenced by a number of factors. Naturally, the growth of our book necessitates a higher reserve, but the dominant underlying factors being utilization or incident rate coupled with medical inflation. There is a small degree of seasonality, but that adjusts quite quickly. You can see below that the utilization trend follows quite closely to the IBNR, as it is a dominant factor within the calculation. Diving in a bit deeper into what is driving the upwards trend of the utilization, I've included the incidence of claims per 1,000 lives insured over the years. Looking back over the years, you will see that almost every category has shown a marked increase, with concerning trends, particularly when you look at cancer, blood pressure, chest pains, and headaches. Cancer alone has an increased incident rate of 125% compared to 2018. There are a number of reasons for this. With a shift of clients to our top product, Premier, they have access to additional benefits. The addition of co-payments, sublimits, and non-DSP penalties often results in additional claims, which we may not have seen in years gone by. Pockets of members have downgraded their medical aid plan and bolstered their cover with gap. The last, but perhaps the most significant, is the advancements in treatments available, improving the prognosis and life expectancy, particularly for cancer-related treatments. This results in more treatments over a longer period of time. I realize there is quite a bit of info on these slides, which may be difficult to take in during the presentation. So you will be sent a copy of this, and you're always most welcome to contact me directly for this information on your particular brokerage or even for a particular group you may have with us. I've included an extract of the highest individual claims we have paid recently. All of the claims that you can see here were over 80,000 Rand. In many of these cases, the claims were not once-off events and were often accompanied by additional claims. Which leads me into the next slide. These are 55 clients with the claims paid to them over the duration of their policy with Turnberry and the associated premiums paid by them. Keeping in mind that OAL resets every year, the lifetime value proposition of having Turnberry gap cover is invaluable. All clients shown on your screen have received claims payments in excess of 200,000 Rand. This graphic gives you some closer detail of some of the large individual claims we have paid, alongside the values we have paid to 5 clients over the period of their cover. All of the information presented is available for your individual brokerage, and we are able to customize any reporting requirements you may have down to the most granular of level. So please reach out to myself or your broker consultant, and we would love to assist you with your business.
This year, we're also going to shake things up a bit, and we're going to have my broker consultant team and Robin introduce the products. We're going to start off with Lauren from Cape Town, who's going to be presenting on our premier option for 2025. That will then be followed by Wayne Boyer, one of our consultants up in Joburg, who will go through the optimal products and benefit changes for 25. I will then be presenting on the synergy option. That will then be followed by you, Anita. I'm sure a lot of you have met as well. She's the consultant from Joburg who will run through the launch changes. And last but not least will be Robin, our Durban KZN consultant, who will then run through the MedExtend and benefit enhancements there.
Thanks, James, for the introduction. I'm Lauren Kruger, and I am the Turnberry broker consultant for Western Province. Turnberry's Premier Plan is our top plan. This plan is the umbrella sheltering your client's entire family. It offers a vast range of benefits to cater for unforeseen medical expense shortfalls and provides comprehensive cancer benefits. The new premium for Premier, a family under 65, is 673 Rand, and a family over 65 is 968 Rand. We offer Premier on individual rates, and this is our only plan we offer individual rates on. And individual rates under 65 is 496 Rand, over 65 is 677 Rand. A family means the principal insured person and the eligible spouse, eligible children, adopted children, and legal guardianship children who have not attained the age of 26 years unless mentally or physically disabled and unable to earn any form of income. Any dependents falling under this definition are included at no additional cost. The principal and the spouse may be on different medical scheme plans. However, the children and the adult dependents would need to be on the principal or spouse's medical scheme plans to be on a Turnberry policy schedule. If you have an extended family or an additional dependent registered on your medical scheme plan, and they do not qualify in terms of our definition of a family mentioned, you may add them onto your policy. The cost per each additional extended family member or dependent is detailed in the brochure by Turnberry plan and age. The overall annual limit as it stands now is 210,580 Rand and 6 cents, in line with the demarcation regulations. This will change in April 2025. Let's now take a step into the actual benefits. So in hospital benefits, your medical expense shortfall is up to 600%. Your co-payment benefit is to the overall annual limit. Your sub-limit cover was 41,000 and has increased to 43,000 per insured per event, and that includes robotic surgery. The non-DSP benefit was 15,500 and has increased to 16,500, and that's 2 claims per family per annum. Trauma recover care is due to an accident, and this is when your client needs to go to a step-down facility, was 5,000 Rand per admission to 10,000 Rand per family per annum, and is now 6,000 Rand per admission to 10,000 Rand per family per annum. If we look at the in and out of hospital benefits, you'll see that your traditional cancer cover is to the overall annual limit. Your biological cancer cover is also to the overall annual limit. Your innovative cancer drug, that has changed from 11,000 Rand and we've increased it to 12,000 Rand per claim. Your breast reconstruction cover was 27,000 and now has increased to 29,000 Rand per lifetime. Your MRI and CT scan cover, when there is no benefit on your medical aid plan, has increased to 8,000 Rand from 7,000 Rand, limited to 2 claims per annum. Your trauma care cover due to a traumatic event to yourself or your family has increased from 2,500 Rand to 3,000 Rand per consultation and capped at 8,000 Rand per annum. Your investigative screening cover for scopes is limited to 1 claim per insured every 5 years. This was 7,500 Rand and now it's increased to 8,500 Rand. Out of hospital benefits, the sub-limit cover for your MRI and CT and PET scans was 41,000 Rand and is now increased to 43,000 Rand. Your co-payments for scopes was 5,000 Rand and we have increased that to 6,000 Rand, 2 per insured per annum. Your casualty for accidents is 16,500 and that has changed now to 18,000 per event. Your casualty illness, no age restriction, however, that has increased to 5,000 Rand for 3 claims per family per annum. Please note that this benefit is purely for after hours from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. during weekdays and any time on public holidays and weekends. The added benefits for your first diagnosis of cancer per person on the policy ranges from stage 1 being 7,500 Rand through to stage 4 to 30,000 Rand. Personal accident cover was 32,000 Rand and we have increased that to 34,000 Rand per person on the policy. Critical illness has also increased to 13,500 from 12,500 per person on the policy. Your medical scheme contribution waiver was 6,600 Rand and that has now increased to 7,500 Rand for 6 months. Your in-hospital in dental, you've got the sub-limit cover for your impacted wisdom teeth due to an accident and oral cancer, and that was 32,500 and now it's increased to 34,000. Sub-limit and co-payment for dental implants as a result of accident or of oral cancer was 54,000 Rand and is now 55,000 Rand. Your basic dental cover for children was 4,500 Rand and is now 5,000 Rand. That is for children that are from 12 years and younger. Many thanks again for the opportunity to present the launch to you, and I hope it's been an amazing time and journey with us, and I look forward to working with you for 2025. And up next is Wayne doing Optimal.
I'm Wayne. I'm going to be talking about the Optimal option today, specifically designed for members who are on a medical scheme who have the 20% cancer co-payment once their cancer limit has been reached. The premium is 510 Rand for under 65s and 736 Rand for over 65s. Lauren has spoken about the overall annual limit previously, which Optimal also has in terms of demarcation regulation change on 1st of April every year. Medical expense shortfall cover increases the medical aid rate up to 500%, co-payment benefit up to the overall annual limit. Sub-limit goes from 31,000 to 33,000 per admission, limited to 72,000 Rand per family per annum. Non-DSP from 12,500 to 13,500, 1 claim per family per annum. Then in and out of hospital benefits. Firstly, traditional cancer cover. As mentioned, the 20% co-payment cover will apply. Biological cancer cover is subject to the formulary. Innovative cancer drugs goes from 11,000 Rand to 12,000 Rand. MRI CT scan cover from 6,000 Rand to 7,000 Rand. Maximum 2 claims per family per annum, irrespective of whether the medical aid covers it or not. And then trauma care cover from 2,500 Rand to 3,000 Rand, up to 7,000 Rand per annum. Breast cancer prevention cover increases the medical aid rate up to 500% for a prophylactic mastectomy. Breast cancer reconstruction from 20,000 to 22,000 Rand per lifetime. Screening cover for scopes for screening purposes limited to 1 claim per insured every 5 years from 6,000 to 6,500 Rand. And then moving on to the out-of-hospital benefits, co-payments for MRI, CT, and PET scans up to the overall annual limit. Co-payment for scopes from 5,000 to 6,000 Rand, 2 per person per annum. Sublimit for MRI, CT, and PET scans from 31,000 to 33,000, up to 72,000 Rand per family per annum. Casualty for accidents from 11,000 to 12,000 Rand per event, up to over annual limit. Casualty illness, 4,000 to 5,000, 2 claims per family per annum. And then moving to the added benefits, personal accident from 18,000 to 19,500, critical illness from 8,500 to 9,500, medical scheme contribution waiver from 6,600 to 7,500, and gap premium waiver for 12 months. And then travel cover, Jade will touch more on this a bit later, up to 5 million Rand per person per journey. Then in-hospital dental cover, medical expense shortfall cover for impacted wisdom teeth, orthodontic and maxillofacial due to an accident or oral cancer. Sublimit for impacted wisdom, orthodontic, maxillofacial due to an accident or oral cancer from 22,000 to 24,000, 50,000 Rand per family per annum. Sublimit and copay for dental implants as a result of accidents or oral cancer from 22,000 to 24,000, 50,000 per family per annum. And then basic dental cover for children, 3,500 to 4,000 per person per annum. And that is up to the age of 12 years old. Many thanks, and I'll now pass over to James, who will present on Synergy.
Thanks, Wayne, for that. As you know, Synergy is one of our best-selling options, and the reason behind that is because it covers the co-payments, the medical expense shortfall cover, and sublimits, which make up probably about 95% of all claims. So it really is a great option and definitely one of our top sellers. One of the points to note on the Synergy option is there is no cancer cover on this option. So if you're looking for that, obviously the Premium Optimal is the way to go. Synergy obviously does cover the basic needs at an affordable price. The premium for 2025 is 441 Rand for family under 65 and 628 Rand for family over the age of 65. Once again, the overall annual limit, as both Lauren and Wayne have mentioned, is in line with the demarcation regulations. Just to mention the benefits now on the Synergy option, the medical expense shortfall cover covers up to 500%. The co-payment cover is subject to the overall annual limit. Sublimit benefit covers increase from 31,000 to 33,000 per admission, limited to 72,000 per family per annum. The non-DSP benefit, we've increased that from 9,700 to 10,500, subject to 1 claim per family per annum. Then to come into some of the in and out of hospital benefits, as you can see, our MRI and CT scan cover, we've increased that from 5,000 to 5,500 Rand, subject to 1 claim per family per annum. And that's what's nice about that benefit is it's available where there is no benefit available on your medical scheme. Our trauma care cover, we've increased from 2,500 to 3,000, limited to 6,000 per family per annum. Then to come on to the out-of-hospital benefits which are covered, you can see we've got your co-payments for MRI, CT, and PT scans, which is still subject to your overall annual limit. Our co-payment for scopes, we've increased from 5,000 to 6,000. Our sub-limit for MRI, CT, and PT scans, we've increased from 31,000 to 33,000. Our casualty for benefit for accidents, we've increased from 10,000 to 12,000. Our casualty benefit for illnesses from 3,500 to 4,000. So some really nice increase on benefits over there. The added benefits, the personal accident cover, we've increased from 12,000 to 13,500. Our medical scheme contribution waiver, we've increased from 6,600 to 7,500. Our gap premium waiver stays the same, which is subject to 12 months for the gap premium contributions for the surviving spouse and children. And then we have our international travel cover, which I'm sure both Lauren and Wayne have mentioned already, is across the board on all our options, and I'll touch on that a little bit later. Then just to mention the dental cover that we provide, we've got the medical expense shortfall cover of up to 500% on the synergy option. And that is for the removal of impacted wisdom teeth, orthodontic surgery, reconstructive maxillofacial surgery due to an accident, and then oral cancer. The co-payment cover is subject to the overall annual limit. We have a sublimit benefit for the removal of impacted wisdom teeth, once again, orthodontic surgery, accidents, and oral cancer, which we've increased from 22,000 to 24,000, subject to a 50,000 benefit per family per annum. We have our sublimit and co-payment cover for dental implants as a result of an accident and or oral cancer, which has increased from 22 to 24,000. We have our basic dental cover for children from 12 years old and under, which we've increased from 2,500 to 3,000 per family per annum. Guys, with that, I thank you very much, and I'm going to be handing over to Robs now, who will go through the enhancements on MedExtend for 2025.
Hi everyone, my name is Robin. I'll be going through the benefits for MedExtend for 2025 with you today. The premium for your under 65s is going to be R398, and for your over 65s, 562. In-hospital benefits are as follows. MedExtend works in a two-part system. Part 1, what is funded by your medical scheme, we will increase the medical aid rates up to 300%. Part 2, we also assist in paying for a list of defined procedures that are excluded by your medical scheme up to a specified rand value subject to the OAL of 210,580 and 6 marvelous cents. We will show you the updated rand values on the next slide of the defined procedures. Your in-hospital co-payment cover has now increased to 6,500, limited to 2 claims per family per annum. For your in-hospital dental cover, we will increase the medical aid rates up to 300% for impacted wisdom teeth, orthodontic surgery, reconstructive maxillofacial surgery due to an accident which occurred whilst on the policy, and oral cancer which was diagnosed whilst on the policy, subject to the OAL. Your out-of-hospital benefits include the casualty benefit for accidents and illness has now increased to 4,500 per family per annum to be made use of strictly between the hours of 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. We do not have an age restriction on the casualty benefit, but we do have a time restriction. The MRI and CT scan cover, where there is no benefit available on your medical aid, has now increased to 5,500 per event and 1 claim per family per annum. Your added benefits for MedExtend are as follows. Your medical scheme contribution waiver is now up to 7,500 Rand for 6 months in the event of death, permanent or total disability as a result of an accident of the medical scheme contribution payer. There is also a gap premium waiver which pays for your MedExtend policy for 12 months. MedExtend also has 5 million Rand international travel cover, which can be made use of if your member scheme option doesn't include travel cover. We do require 48-hour notice before departure. This list shows the increased Rand values on the defined procedures as follows. There is also the Med Boost, which provides a lump sum benefit payout when you need to undergo a defined procedure and have been claim-free for a number of consecutive years. The table shows payout values based on the number of claim-free years. Thank you. I will now pass you on to Poppy, who will present Launch to you.
Moving on to our launch option. This option was created during COVID to assist clients with financial constraints that needed to scale down on medical cover but still wanted gap cover in the event that they were hospitalized. It's a very basic entry-level product, and we have found that it appeals to our lower income market. Launch is a very price-effective gap cover solution. The launch premium for 2025 for a family under 65 is 169 Rand and 294 Rand for a family over 65. All your claims, except for your added benefits, will be deducted from your overall annual limit. The in-hospital benefits for launch is shortfall cover up to 350%. The co-payment cover has been increased from 3,500 to 4,000 Rand. Your out-of-hospital casualty benefit has increased from 6,500 to 7,000 Rand. Onto your added benefits, the medical scheme contribution waiver has increased from 6,600 Rand to 7,500, and we will also cover your gap premiums for 12 months. This product also includes our travel cover benefits, and please remember to notify us at least 48 hours before you travel. Then the last benefit is the in-hospital dental cover. This will cover shortfalls on certain procedures like impacted wisdom teeth, reconstructive surgery as a result of an accident, and oral cancer up to 350%. Thank you, and I'll now pass on to the best boss ever, who will present on Travel Assist, group gap cover, and the balance of our presentation.
Guys, as mentioned earlier, I'm going to now chat to you about some of the additional benefits that Turnberry offer, starting off with our Travel Assist. The travel cover covers 5 million Rand per member on cover, and there's obviously a whole host of benefits which is offered. As you can see on the slide over there, it offers dental cover, it offers quarantine expense cover, it's got in and out of hospital benefits. So there's a whole host of benefits offered by the travel cover that no matter what plan you're on with Turnberry, it is available to you when traveling. I think a couple of important things to point out on the travel cover is that it covers up to 90 days per trip per annum. Very important on travel cover is that we have to be notified 48 hours before traveling. Once you've left the country, you will not unfortunately be able to get the travel cover. So really, really important. Before traveling, you can get hold of Gordine, and I'm sure a lot of you have had spoken to Gordine or dealt with her in the past. Very efficient. She will provide you with the necessary documentation that you need to complete, and the travel cover will then be available. As mentioned, the travel cover is available to anyone. Should people feel, or should your clients feel that the travel cover is not sufficient enough, they can always take the top-up travel cover, which will increase their travel cover from 5 million to 15 million Rand per person traveling. Along with the top-up travel cover, there's a whole host of additional benefits which the client will then have access to. For example, there's a daily hospital cashback benefit, dental benefit, there's a denied visa benefit, hijack and hostage benefit. And these are some of the new benefits which were introduced into the travel cover last year. The nice thing about the travel top-up cover is that there is no price increase on this benefit going into 2025. So the Rand values, depending on the period of time that you travel, 1 to 14 days, 15 to 30 days, those Rand values remain as is from 2024 going into 2025. Moving on to group quotes, we've had some really, really good success in the group quotes that we've done in 2024, and a lot of that converted into new business. Having a look at the group quote slide over here, there is obviously certain information that we will require in order to provide any group quotes to yourselves. The demographics are really important. The average age of the group, the nature of business, whether it's a voluntary or compulsory group, and very importantly as well is, if possible, a claims loss ratio or net loss ratio report, which will obviously then be able to provide us with more information, and based on that we'll be able to then push out the best quotes possible from Turnberry perspective. We look at groups from 20 members plus in order to offer group rates, and then obviously also to offer favourable underwriting for these groups. So the more information that you can provide us when it comes to quoting on groups, obviously the better the rate and the better the underwriting concession we'll be able to provide to you guys. We have the broker training and CBD platform, which I'm sure a lot of you are very familiar with already. Where you go online, you complete a short quiz, and once completed, you can obtain 2.5 hours CPD points for this. The broker training and CPD platform is a really good platform where you can go and obtain a fair amount of information. You'll have access to our brochures and the one pages and the application form. There will be the product-specific training presentation available to you on there. There's a lot of marketing material that's done throughout the year, which you guys will also have access to. There's some really, really nice client testimonials, broker testimonials on the platform as well, which you guys can go and have a look at your own leisure. And then also there will be the recording of the 2025 product presentation that you can also once again go and have a look at in your own time. Moving on to the Turnberry digital application form. I think the digital application form is really a sign of the times and the way things have moved. So many people now are not interested in completing, pages and then having to scan, fax or email them. The digital application form we introduced a couple of years ago, and it really, really has been a huge success. a large portion of you guys personally have moved over from the paper onto the digital application form, and it just really makes things a lot easier. I mean, if you have clients that are sitting outside your geographical location, they can complete the digital application form, have your broker code put in on that, submitted straight to Turnberry, and the application will then be loaded. Yourself as the intermediary will get notification from the new business team that has been captured, and once captured, obviously the policy schedule will then be sent out to both yourself and to the client with minimal effort. And I think also with the digital application form, it just streamlines the workflow process. It's a lot quicker from a new business side once it's come into the system for them to activate the application form and to then obviously submit and issue the policy schedules. Okay, then moving on to the claims and the submission of claim forms. I think a lot of you have, over the last year, had a fair amount of dealings with claim. I think obviously Brian spoke earlier about the claims and the volumes of claims that have come in over 2024. If you went on to the CPD platform, the digital platform that I spoke about earlier, and you went and looked at some of the client testimonials, you'll see that the claims has really been a successful area within Turnberry. We've had a huge amount of positive feedback from a claims perspective. Clients still, as usual, have a couple of different ways of submitting claims. They can do the normal paper claim and submit it, fax it, email through to us. But the digital claim form really does work, where the clients can go online, they can complete the claim form, they can then upload any supporting documents that are needed and submit electronically to us. Our claims division will then obviously send notification to yourself as the intermediary as well as the client that the claim has been submitted. We generally work on a 7-day turnaround time for claims, but I think, as you know, we go through various peaks and troughs where sometimes it's large amount of claims comes through and it might take 7 working days before it's been paid out. But currently we're looking around about 2 to 3 days, which I think has had a significant impact on the service levels that Turnberry do offer both to yourselves and to your clients. So we really do encourage you to please have a look at the electronic online claim form and to obviously do the process of submitting a claim via that. Okay, moving on to the second last slide is our underwriting. I think as all of you guys are aware, during the course of this year and probably half of the year before, we were running various underwriting concessions, which were very successful. I mean, I think it helps both yourselves and Turnberry to obtain new business and to bring on new clients during the course of the year. As it currently stands, we are running the concession up until the end of September, where we will impose only the 3-month general waiting period on new business, and then obviously the 10-month waiting period on pregnancy, and there's a 12-month waiting period on musculoskeletal, cancer, and gastrointestinal. All the other defined benefits, we do not impose any waiting periods. As mentioned, we have been running this up until the end of September. I think you guys probably would have already got a communication in the last couple of weeks, but we've now decided to extend this concession and we will continue to run it up until the 31st of December. And then come that period, we'll have a look and see how things have gone from a new business perspective and then obviously from a claiming perspective, and we'll relook at it and if needs be then consider running it for an extended period. Guys, we thank you again for attending today, and I know it's been a busy period for all of you. You've had to attend numerous launches from the medical scheme and from the various gap providers. Most of them obviously been virtual, but there have been a fair amount that have also had face-to-face presentations. So really do appreciate your time and more than happy now to field any questions. The questions which unfortunately we cannot get to, we will be replying or responding to those questions and we will post them on the Lombard platform. Once again, thank you very much.